Show some ambition, get the deal done, bid for Carlos Baleba now. That is Ruben Amorim's message to the Manchester United board. Bid for Baleba now. Now, we know that Brighton are saying Baleba is not for sale. That is their official stance. But we know there's always a price tag on a player. Villa was saying Watkins not for sale. But if we did bid 60 million for Watkins, we all know Villa would be in negotiations with Manchester United. What is the latest on Carlos Baleba? We've got some good updates coming in from Laurie Whitwell and David Ornstein. I'm going to give you all the latest on Carlos Baleba in today's video. Adam Morton is apparently an alternative to Baleba, and we are monitoring him. Maybe a small blow in the Donnarumma because Manchester City have entered the race for Donnarumma. We will talk about the latest on Donnarumma. Are United in for him? Are we being used by his agent? Can we afford him? What's the goalkeeping situation? Reports coming out that Amorim is happy to stick with Onana for another season. Casemiro and Bruno expected to leave in 2026, which is going to free up a lot of money in wages, a lot of money in the midfield, which is maybe why we're working on a very expensive Baleba deal now. Is Garnacho's exit finally advancing? Any little updates on Hojlund, Obi, Sancho? We'll talk about the latest and all of these players listed below. So yeah, let's get into it. There's a lot to talk about. This is the 10-minute roundup. If you are new to the channel, every evening throughout the transfer window, unless there's literally just no news, I try and round up all the news into a 10-minute video for you guys so you're super up to date on everything. Yeah, let's get into it. I actually recorded this video, realized I didn't click record, so I've been speaking for 10 minutes. So I'm refilming this, which I'm not happy about, but we're getting into it. So Ben Jacobs was talking to Give Me Sport earlier today. Ben Jacobs been one of the journalists of the summer for me, and he said Amorim is telling the hierarchy to go and bid now for Carlos Baleba. Show a sign of ambition. Get me a ball winner. Find me an athlete in the middle of the park. Even though Brighton's position is not for sale, Manchester United are prepared to try. Manchester United are ambitious. Brighton do not want to sell, but they know that Carlos Baleba wants the move. When he starts putting pressure on Brighton for the move, Brighton may have to weaken their stance. And they're ready to, make Brighton maybe unhappy. Maybe make a bid for Brighton. Rustle some feathers. Amorim is saying, go make your bid. We've got to try. I don't care. Amorim believes just keep trying and trying. The player wants the move. Amorim is saying bid now. Go bid now. Show some ambition, because I tell you what, we all watched that Everton game. We need a midfielder. We all watched the games under Amorim last season. We need a midfielder. We haven't replaced Eriksen. We lack legs and physicality in the middle of the park. We can have Sesko. We can have Cunha. We can have Mbeumo. But without a good midfielder, we're still going to struggle next year. And Amorim's absolutely right. Do what you can to get him Carlos Baleba. Go and bid now. Go and make an attempt now. He doesn't want to wait. He wants this deal now. So what is the latest on Carlos Baleba? So Laurie Whitwell is a credible journalist that was on the Stretford Paddock today. And on the Stretford Paddock, a few of the things he mentioned, go check out their YouTube channel, by the way, was that Baleba is keen on joining United and aware of the potential salary package. Personal terms will not be an issue. We know that. Many other sources have confirmed that. Laurie Whitwell further confirming Baleba is keen on joining United. He said that United players have spoken to him positively about the club. David Ornstein also mentioned that earlier today, that Carlos Baleba had been in contact with Manchester United players. He said intermediaries are gauging Brighton's stance of officially not for sale, but that is seen as a starting position. So he's suggesting that while Brighton say not for sale, that's just their starting position to make sure that they get as much money as they can for him, to put them in a stronger negotiating position by saying we're not selling this player, which means we have to bid a lot more money to get that deal done. But with Manchester United knowing it's going to be an expensive deal and still in for it and really wanting it, and Amorim pushing, with Baleba wanting a move, things could move. David Ornstein even added today that United are in talks with Brighton to determine a price, see if there's a price point and see if United are willing to match that price point. Baleba is open to the move. Personal terms won't be an issue, said David Ornstein. And David Ornstein said he's the priority on Ruben Amorim's number 6 list. But David Ornstein says that they're talking now to determine a price point. So if he was not for sale, why are Brighton talking with Manchester United to determine a price point? Because there will be a price. There will be a price where Brighton are like, you know what? Man United have offered us this amount. The player wants to move. Brighton won't be happy about it, but that's the situation. The question is, what is that price point, and can United pay that price point? Will they need sales first? That's what we'll know in the coming days. But I think if we get Baleba, it could advance quick. I think United are ready to get deals done quick and stop faffing on them, which is good. In other news, Manchester United are one of the many clubs monitoring Adam Morton, according to the Mail. Indy Kala, who was actually the first to link us to Carlos Baleba, said that Adam Morton was an alternative. But there's a lot of top clubs interested in Adam Morton, from Liverpool to Real Madrid. For me, Adam Morton is a fantastic player, fantastic talent, one of the best passers of the ball. The fact that he's such a good progressive passer is insane. But if I'm choosing between Adam Morton and Baleba, who are probably going to be the same price this summer because Palace are losing Eze and Gay, it looks like, I will go for Baleba over Adam Morton any day of the week. If you're looking at a partner for Maino, Baleba's the better partner for Maino, because Adam Morton, while he's good physically, he's much known for being good on the ball. Maino, we know, is good on the ball, but maybe lacks the legs. Baleba's got the legs that Maino lacks. Baleba's the perfect midfield partner for Maino. Baleba's the better of the two players. Adam Morton's a fantastic player. Do you think he's becoming slightly overrated because of just English bias? And if we can't get Baleba and we get Adam Morton, I'm happy. But Baleba's the first choice for a reason. I'm happy with that. And I think one of the reasons Manchester United are in for Baleba now, and we spoke about this earlier, is because they know next summer there'll be a lot more competition. Liverpool have pretty much used up their funds or saving the rest for Isak. City have already spent a lot. All these other clubs have spent a lot. So United are making the move for Carlos Baleba now because they know next summer City, Liverpool, Arsenal could all be in for a player like Carlos Baleba. Chelsea even, you never know. So I think that's why United want to do the deal, because I think next summer will be the Baleba-Wharton battle between all the top clubs, and United would rather have Baleba done so they don't have to worry too much, and maybe they can get cheaper midfielder next year. Because there was updates coming in regards, and Ben Jacobs mentioned this, that there's a belief among sources that next summer the likes of Bruno could depart with Saudi still keen, and Casemiro could come off the wage bill. You know, Casemiro's contract expires at the end of the season unless United extend for another year, which I don't think they will. He saves us nearly 20 million a year just by leaving. Maybe United are willing to spend big on Baleba now because they know that Casemiro is going to go and they're going to save a lot of money. They've already saved a lot of money in wages with Eriksen. There's a feeling that Bruno could go to Saudi next year. And if Bruno and Casemiro leave, we're going to need to sign probably two midfielders, potentially three if we don't sign one this summer because Eriksen is gone. And they're not fully convinced about Agate. So I think United are thinking if we can sign a midfielder now, because one, we need to go into this season with a midfielder. But also, number two, Man United might be thinking we might lose a few midfielders next summer. And even though they, replaced the front three this summer, they also got other things they might want to look at next summer, like goalkeeper, like another centre-back for depth if we're in Europe, depending on how the new signings settle in and more. But there's a belief upon sources that next summer the likes of Bruno could go to Saudi and Casemiro could go, which is probably another reason why we're in for Baleba despite the price. Because I think Bruno and Casemiro would save nearly 30 million a year in wages. We got some updates from Laurie Whitwell on Garnacho. Laurie Whitwell said that Chelsea have obviously been favourites to sign Garnacho all summer, and talks are now progressing. Early offers involved player exchanges, according to Laurie Whitwell. United weren't interested. Chelsea thought we'll wait late into the window to see if United lower the fee, which United's stance is we're not going to do that. And negotiations are focused solely on a cash amount. So Laurie Whitwell was saying, Chelsea tried it. They tried the swaps. They tried this. They tried that. They've been in for Garnacho all summer. We're now talking about cash. Talks are progressing. We're now talking about cash. Hopefully, Chelsea give us a serious bid. Apparently, according to other sources, that Chelsea value him at 30 million. We want over 50. Chelsea valuing him at 30 million is a joke. Hopefully, now things are advancing. Chelsea realising that the price hasn't lowered despite them waiting all this time. Maybe Chelsea just go and hurry up and get this deal done. I think Man United are fed up. But the problem we've had is a lot of clubs are waiting for Man United players on deadline day, thinking we'll just worry and sell them cheap. Man United, can use Garnacho as an example because he's not on that high wages. And I think if you're Man United, you say to Garnacho, we're getting 50 million for you, but you're sitting in the reserves. We don't care. And Garnacho threatened that to them, but he's the one that wants to play in the World Cup. So yeah, negotiations with Chelsea are ongoing. Things are advancing. We're talking about cash. Hopefully we'll find a breakthrough and Chelsea stop lowballing us. We did get updates coming in from Italy via Gazzetta that Hojlund is confident he could earn his place at United despite competition with Sesko going in, and he would be determined to redeem himself. We know that Hojlund would love to stay at United, but we know from other sources his stance is starting to change. He's not happy with being forced out. He is thinking about his minutes. And Milan's reps have met Hojlund to try and secure his approval. Some sources suggest Hojlund's more open to the move. What Milan have done right now is they've given Hojlund less than a week to make a decision. He's got to make a decision within the week. If not, they will move on to other targets. So Hojlund's coming to the slow reality check that he might not play much for Manchester United next season. So as much as he wants to stay and fight for his place, even with Sesko coming in, Hojlund in these next few days has got to make a decision. Does he want to stay? Does he want to go? We've got offers on the table for Hojlund. We're now waiting on him to make his decision. One of the interesting things that Nathan Salt had mentioned today is that with Rasmus Hojlund's exit being accelerated, there are currently no plans to push Obi out on loan. As I said, I didn't think Obi would be going anywhere on loan regardless, because he's such a talented player. But I think if Hojlund goes, then he's going to be in and around the squad at Obi, because Xerxes the backup to Sesko. Xerxes isn't fully fit. Xerxes is a number 9, but maybe not an out-and-out 9. That makes sense. We've got offers on the table for Hojlund, loan with options to buy. Newcastle, Leipzig interested. Obviously, the offers from Milan. Hojlund's got to make a decision. I think we'll hear something soon. There is rumours of us looking at Upamecano. His agent has offered Upamecano to us, but he's very mistake-prone, and United are ignoring that. And there is also reports coming out of Italy via Gazzetta that Milan wants Sancho, as in Inter wants Sancho, and that, personal terms are not believed to be an issue, which would suggest that Sancho's lowered his wage demand, but Inter believe that they can use several factors to negotiate a lower price of United. So the problem with Sancho is teams are ready to pay up for Sancho, and to Man United, but Sancho wasn't willing to lower his wage demands. Now the window's gone on more and more and more, and Sancho's probably got a reality check that no one's going to give him the ridiculous wages he wants. Maybe Sancho is lowering his wage demands because, according to Italian sources, Inter don't think agreeing personal terms with Sancho will be a problem. Inter think they can reach personal terms with Sancho, and they probably have an indication of what Sancho wants, which I assume will be lower now. But Man United want 20 million euros for Sancho, which I think is fair. Inter believe they can get that price tag down. 20 million euros is 16 million pounds. Considering Chelsea were going to give us 25 million for him, we should be able to get 20 million euros for Sancho. I'm at the point now, as long as we get our book value for Sancho and he F's off for good, that's all I care about. And his wages are gone with him, which would save us a lot of money. But yeah, that is all the latest Manchester United news, guys. Rounded up, I'm going to say in 10 minutes, but it is 12. There was a lot to get through in today's video, but I will be back with a live tomorrow with more detail and stuff about all the stories. Thank you for watching. Bye.